Hello, George. Got your T50-12 booster finished that you sent. Thank you very much. Remanufactured air filter assembly with a poppet inside, new diaphragm inside that you sent, CAD plating like original. The vacuum check valve has been rebuilt and works. Now remember, on this booster and on the T14, this check valve screws into a nut that is inside the case, and if you unscrew the check valve, that nut falls inside, and you have to take the remove the J bolts and separate the can in order to access the nut and put it back in place. It was never a captive nut from the factory, so that check valve has been rebuilt and tested, and it works just fine. But if anybody wants to change the check valve, remember that nut's going to fall inside there and you have to pull the can apart, which is not a problem, but it's just something that has to be done. Now then, this is the T50-12 with a which is different from the 14. The 14 has a deeper body and a longer slave cylinder, so your T50-12 has a 3.7-to-1 boost ratio. So at the input from the master cylinder at 350 psi, we should be looking at about 1300 psi on the output side. And the vacuum, the two gauges are tied together, and they're going to show the vacuum is produced by the test machine, and then as this as the booster is engaged, this gauge it will go to 0 when the booster is fully activated. On this side, we've got our two gauges tied together. So this gauge is the input from the master cylinder on the test machine. So this gauge is going to go up, and this will max out, and this one goes and maxes out. And then these two are tied together. This is output, and this gauge is going to max out, and this gauge will read final output pressure. Now then, without vacuum, the input and the output are the same. The booster simply passes the fluid through it. Nothing happens, so it's in and out. So we got 350 in, 350 out, 350 out. Got good vacuum. I'll energize the booster. Notice the gauge on the left maintains constant pressure and tells us that there's no leaks inside the booster. Now we'll go over to the hydraulic side. While we're under pressure, check for leaks. Check for leaks here. Check our bleed screws. Remember, this bleed screw is not necessary to use. Just use this top bleed screw. Got our bleed hole over here on the side. You can barely see it down there. No problems there. That's your first line of defense. Tells you that your booster is leaking internally. Is that little weep hole on the outside. That's the second of 3 seals that keep fluid away from the vacuum chamber. And once that one starts leaking, it's time to pull your booster out. Okay. Got a real nice booster. Here's everything at one time. Got a real nice booster. Let's see if there's anything else we can mention on this. booster. No. Oh, well, this is a plug for transport and for testing, and that's where the brake light switch goes. This is threaded 10 by 1, but the brake light switch has a tapered thread on it, so please tell people to not screw in the brake light switch until it bottoms out. Just screw it in until the threads tighten up and it will not leak fluid. Here's, you can tell our diaphragm's holding vacuum. So we got a good booster. Thank you.